2,000 meters beneath the surface. That's just 20% of the ocean's total depth. We can go way deeper. And what we find along the way? It's nothing short of unbelievable. At 2,000 meters, or 2 kilometers, you'd expect total darkness. No sunlight reaches here. And yet, you start seeing tiny lights glowing in the black. That's because we've just entered the bioluminescent zone, where almost 90% of sea life glows in the dark just to survive. One of the creatures here? A small, terrifying thing known as the abyssal dragonfish. But its teeth? 5 times sharper than a piranha's. Now let's drop down to 3,800 meters. This place is legendary because it holds the wreck of the Titanic. Yes, the real one, lying silent and broken nearly 4,000 meters deep. Keep going. We reach 5,000 meters and officially enter the abyss zone. If you thought we were deep before, this is just the average depth of the world's oceans. Life is barely hanging on. You'll only find strange sea cucumbers, giant glowing jellyfish the size of humans, and long-legged abyss crabs. Let's go even further, down to 6,000 meters, into the Hadal zone. This place is hell underwater. The water temperature, never above 4 degrees Celsius. And the pressure, over 1,100 times greater than on land. To help you picture that, it's like carrying 335 full-grown African elephants on your shoulders. Yeah, that heavy. But now let's flip the view. From the deepest point on Earth to the highest, Mount Everest, standing tall at 8,848 meters, the tallest thing we've got. And yet, Everest could fit inside some of the trenches in the ocean and still wouldn't reach the bottom. Because in 2012, director James Cameron took a solo dive down to 10,898 meters. He stayed there for 3 hours. He described it as a lunar desert. No life, no movement. Just the sound of his sub creaking under pressure. And get this, back in 1960, 2 men went even deeper. They reached 10,960 meters. That's nearly 11 kilometers straight down. To put that in perspective, that's the same altitude commercial planes fly at, but instead of soaring through clouds, they were sinking into black silence. So next time you jump into the ocean, just remember, you're swimming above a world almost no one has seen. But now, let's leave the water and step into the trees. You take your first step into the Amazon rainforest, and that's just 0.0001% of it. We can go way deeper, and what we find along the way, it's nothing short of terrifying. At just a few kilometers in, you're already out of range from most roads, most rescue, most contact with the outside world. The air thickens, the sky disappears, and the jungle begins to close around you. You'd think it would be peaceful here. Birds, trees, rivers. But it's not. It's alive, and it's watching. This is the territory of the bullet ant. Its sting, described as the most painful in the entire insect kingdom. But you keep going. You reach the mid-jungle layers. Humidity climbs to 90%. Your sweat doesn't evaporate, you just stay wet. Every breath gets heavier. And now, you're surrounded by things that can kill you, just by being touched. Bright frogs called Phyllobates terribilis. Beautiful, silent, lethal. One carries enough venom to kill 10 men, and it doesn't need to bite. Just sitting on your skin is enough. Keep walking. You're deep enough now that light barely reaches the forest floor. You hear sounds, cracks, screeches, branches snapping, but nothing moves. That's how the jaguar hunts. You won't hear it leap. You won't hear it land. Just the crunch of leaves when it's already too late. You push deeper. Now you're in the fog layer. No visibility, no direction, only wet, breathing trees. The ground turns to mud. Roots reach like fingers. And this is where people vanish, like Percy Fawcett, a British explorer who walked into the jungle with his son in 1925 and never came out. No trace, no remains, just gone. Even modern adventurers like Yossi Ginsberg, left behind in a remote corner of the Amazon, running from floods and swarms of flesh-eating ants. And still, we've only scratched the surface, because over 80% of the Amazon rainforest remains unexplored, unmapped, untouched. So next time you see a photo of the Amazon, green, calm, endless, just remember, you're looking at a place that does not want you there. A place that's been hiding its secrets for thousands of years. And the deeper you go, the less chance you'll ever come back. You take your first step onto the trail to Everest. Just 3,000 meters above sea level. You feel strong. The air is thinner, sure, but you can breathe, you can move. And yet, this is where most people already start to lose. Muscles burn faster, your brain works slower, you lose water with every breath. And you haven't even reached base camp. Keep climbing, 5,364 meters. You're now higher than any mountain in Europe. The oxygen here, just 50% of what your body's used to. You wake up with headaches. You stop sleeping well. Simple tasks feel like marathons. And this is still considered the safe part. Now we go higher. 6,400 meters, Camp 2. Here, the risk of HAPE begins. High-altitude pulmonary edema. Your lungs fill with fluid. You feel like you're drowning while you're still walking. You cough blood. You shake with cold, even when wrapped in heat. And still climbers keep going. 7,200 meters, Camp 3. Your body starts eating itself. It can't recover. It doesn't want to. You're burning 6,000 calories a day, but eating barely half of that. Muscles waste, thoughts blur, sleep turns into strange half-dreams of panic and silence. 8,000 meters, the death zone. This is where your body starts dying. Slowly, quietly, inevitably. No matter how strong you are, your cells begin to shut down. You lose control of your fingers. You forget where you are. You stop feeling your feet. The oxygen level here, only 30% of sea level. Not enough to sustain life for long. Every second you spend here, your brain is starving, and your heart is racing itself to death. This is where climbers disappear. Like David Sharp, who sat down to rest in the death zone and never stood up again. Or Frances Arsentieff, the first American woman to reach Everest's summit without oxygen. She made it to the top, but didn't make it back down. Everest is not meant for humans, because above 8,000 meters, your brain fails, your heart weakens, and your body gives up. So next time you see a photo of Everest, sunlight bouncing off its white peaks, calm, powerful, eternal, just remember, you're looking at a place that slowly kills you the higher you go, a place that doesn't care how many people have stood on its summit, because up here, you don't conquer the mountain,